All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Before we get started, I'm going to give some brief instructions on how today is going to proceed. In just a minute, I'm going to be calling your names. For those of you that are here, I only have 9 of you that are scheduled to be on today's docket. So this is going to be relatively a quick docket. I should have everybody out in the next 20 minutes. Before we get started, I do want to advise all of you that in just a minute, I'm going to be calling out your names. I'm going to be identifying you by name. I'm going to be asking you a series of questions, specifically if your name is true and correct, if you're mentally competent, if you understand the range of punishment for the offense for which you are charged. And at the same time, I'm going to advise you about some policies that the court has. At this time, the court's going to go ahead and open up and share the screen with my staff so that we can go ahead and share the screen. All of you are here as a result of an offense involving driving while intoxicated. And driving while intoxicated offense fall under one of 2 categories, either a Class A or a Class B misdemeanor. All of you are here, again, under a classification of a Class A, Class B misdemeanor for a driving while intoxicated charge. I will advise all of you that Class B misdemeanors carry a potential penalty of up to 6 months in the Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine upon conviction. Again, a driving while intoxicated charge, Class B, carries a range of punishment of up to 6 months in the Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine upon conviction. A Class A misdemeanor carries a range of punishment of up to 1 year in the Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine upon conviction. Again, Class A misdemeanors, range of punishment up to 1 year in the Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine upon conviction. Some of you fall under a category of a Class A, others fall under a category of a Class B. And I will tell you that with respect to these DWIs, 2 of you, after reviewing this offense, 2 of you fall under the category of what I'm about to show you right now, and that is 4 reasons why 2 of you today will have a mobile alcohol monitoring device installed. Okay, it only applies to 2 of you, so 2 out of the 9 are going to have a mobile alcohol monitoring device. But for those 2 of you, let me let you know that the reason why the court is installing this device is either A, while committing the offense of driving while intoxicated, an accident occurred. Right? The second reason why the court imposes a mobile alcohol monitoring device is if you have a BAC greater than a 0.15, that therefore being a Class A misdemeanor. If this is your second DWI, therefore a Class A misdemeanor, or if you've had 2 or more alcohol-related incidents with law enforcement, then the court will impose a mobile alcohol monitoring system. Now, what do I mean by second or more alcohol-related incidents with law enforcement? Well, what I mean by that is if previously you had a driving while intoxicated offense that was later busted down, it was you entered into a pretrial diversion program with the district attorney's office, the case was dismissed. It's still an alcohol-related incident with law enforcement, and we still know about it. And so, for that reason, if you've had 2 or more incidences with law enforcement, maybe 1 DWI is still pending, it hasn't been disposed of, and you pick up a second, that's an incident. It didn't result in a conviction yet, or may not result in a conviction ever, but it's an alcohol-related incident with law enforcement. And under those 4 categories or 4 reasons why the court will impose a mobile device. Again, pre-screening today's docket, 2 of you will have a mobile device. 2 of you will have a mobile device installed. I will tell the 2 of you that will be ordered to have that mobile device that the court has a new policy. And the new policy is that you will have that mobile device installed. You will have until next Wednesday to install that device. Next Wednesday is the 2nd of March by 5 o'clock. And I will tell you that if throughout this process of having that mobile device, if you don't have any violations, if you don't pick up any violations, if I don't have to sanction you for any violations with your mobile device, at the end of this process, whether your case is disposed of by way of a plea or your case is disposed of by way of a pretrial diversion, then the court will waive your fine and your court costs associated with your case in an effort to try to offset the cost that you had to expend in having that mobile device. Again, that is only if there is no sanction, there was no admonishment, and everything was perfect. In other words, you had a perfect record, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to protect the community. We're trying to protect our streets. We're trying to keep our streets safe. And if you didn't pick up any offense while on bond, then I know that you were the type of person who we weren't trying to identify. And so for that reason, and to try to help our community with some of the costs that are associated with these devices, and understanding the nature of the times of what we're going through with COVID, jobs, job insecurity, things of that sort, I will do my best and I will do my part to try to help you if you are here to try to help yourself as well. And so for that reason, if I waive fines and court costs, you're looking at about anywhere between, depending on the fine that the state imposes, but typically we're talking about $600 to $700 in fine and fee reductions. Okay, so just know that maintaining a clean record when it comes to the mobile device is so important for that reason. Again, it's only going to apply to 2 of you, and I hope to get you out of here in the next 10 minutes. Okay, it's not going to take very long. Let's get started. Any questions from anyone, attorneys, or anyone who's here today? Any questions? If there's no questions, let's get started. We're going to get started with CR 22-0036H, Alejandro Bueno Jr. Is Alejandro?
Judge, I'm sorry. Just a comment. My client is a Spanish speaker. It's number 9 on the docket.
Perfect. Well, that's the last one. We'll translate everything to him.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. Alejandro Bueno?
Yes.
All right. Good morning, sir. Can I have you raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Is your true and correct name Alejandro Bueno Jr.?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Bueno, you're here before the court, charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated with a BAC. Mr. Bueno, I'm going to mute you real quick because I know you're multiple courts. Okay, I can hear you. All right, you're here, Mr. Bueno, with the charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated with a BAC greater than a .15, a Class A misdemeanor. Did you understand the range of punishment you could receive for a Class A misdemeanor, as was explained to you this morning?
Yes, sir.
Has any court ever declared you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane?
No, sir.
Counsel, speaking with your client, do you find him to be mentally competent, able to assist?
I do, Your Honor.
Court's going to go ahead and make a finding that Alejandro Bueno Jr. is mentally competent. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty for him at this time and reset his case for April 21st, 2022 at 9:30. Mr. Bueno, you can lower your hand. Thank you so much. Mr. Bueno, you're here and you registered a BAC greater than a .15. So you are one of those 2 individuals that I'm going to need and ask that you stay behind and that you visit with our probation officer once we are done. And you're going to visit with her about having that mobile device installed. Remember what I told you, no violation. Do you have it already?
Yes, I have it ever since I got billed out. I put it the following day, and I've had it for, I think this month on the 18th or 19th, I turned 5 months with it already.
Perfect. Listen, give that information to Ms. Rodriguez. If your attorney wants to have that device removed, because sometimes lawyers ask for that request, as long as you've had no violations, I will go ahead and grant that request. So Mr. Moreno knows that policy well. He'll visit with you. He'll talk about it. And all I need today is just confirmation of the company, who you have that device with, and Ms. Rodriguez will take care of that really fast for you. Okay, so just hang tight. You do need to go into a breakout room with her when we're done, and then she'll take care of the rest. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Rudy, any questions?
Just really briefly, this defendant is PTD eligible.
PTD eligible. Okay.
Yes, sir. We resubmit all the PD application stuff ready. So this week.
Perfect. Okay. So I will see you on April 21st, 2022 at 9:30.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes, you may. Thank you.
Thank you.
Rudy, you're excused, but Mr. Bueno, you need to stay behind.
Thank you, Judge.
I stay till I be called again?
Yeah, stay behind. I'm going to call you here shortly. I'm going to put you in a breakout room. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's move on to CR 22-00278H, Aldo Ulysses Cantu. Is Aldo Ulysses Cantu present? If you're on mute, please unmute yourself. Aldo Ulysses Cantu.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Cantu, good morning. Can I have you raise your right hand?
Yes, sir.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Is your true and correct name Aldo Ulysses Cantu?
Yes, sir.
You may lower your hand. Mr. Cantu, you're here before the court charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. Do you understand the range of punishment as was explained to you for a Class B misdemeanor this morning?
Yes, sir.
Has any court ever declared you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane?
No.
Counsel, you are represented by Catherine Pettis. I don't see Ms. Pettis present here today, but the court will make a judicial determination that you are mentally competent. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty for you at this time. Mr. Cantu, I'm going to reset your case also for April 21st, 2022 at 9:30. Again, that's April 21st, 2022 at 9:30. Your case was not earmarked or identified as a bond modification case, which means there will be no mobile device installed, and you are excused. Please visit with Ms. Cantu, Ms. Pettis, and we will see you on April 21st at 9:30.
I have a quick question, Judge.
Yes.
So you said that the breathalyzer didn't apply to me, but I did get one anyway because they assigned me one after I was billed out. And my case didn't fall under any of the circumstances that you just laid out. So I'm pretty confused about that. Excuse me.
So sometimes the magistrates will install those devices because they have their own policies.
Okay.
When you get here, what I would advise you is to visit with Ms. Pettis. She can ask that I remove it, and I have usually no problem removing it if there's been no violations.
I have the other problem about that, Judge, I'm sorry, is that I work full-time 2 jobs and I go to school full-time as well. So I'm having trouble keeping up with the schedule. I'm doing the on-demand test, but I've been having trouble keeping up with the schedule just because of those. My schedule is just really jacked up.
Okay. Visit with your attorney, and then we can have a conversation about your schedule and about doing some sort of modification of the windows. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Victoria, you're raising your hand.
Yes, Judge, I was just going to say that I did confirm he has the mobile device, but he does have violations on the recent report.
Okay. Are they missed tests or positive?
Both.
Okay. You see, positive tests.
I have one positive test, Your Honor, and it was the very first one from the year. That's the only one for New Year's.
Okay.
All the other ones were missed because of my schedule problems.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to suggest to you, Mr. Cantu.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to suggest that I'm going to wipe the slate clean starting today, because you and I have never met, and you and I are going to have a conversation about, and everything that I'm offering everybody else, it should apply to you. I shouldn't hold you to a standard that you weren't aware of, right? So what I will tell you is that starting today, the court is going to be looking at that mobile device very carefully. If we don't have any violations by the time we come back, I'll remove it. Okay.
Okay. I'll try my best to keep up with it. The on-demand test, I'll try my best as well. But like I said, my schedule is a very big problem. But I'll try my very best.
Talk to your lawyer. We can modify windows. We can help you with your work schedule. But you and your lawyer need to communicate to our probation officer so that we can try to help you as best we can.
Okay, will do, sir. Thank you.
But today, I don't have to do anything else. You don't have to wait. You just need to communicate with Ms. Pettis, and we will see you on April 21st at 9:30.
All right, thank you, Judge.
You're
Appreciate it.
welcome. Thank you. And next is CR 22-003-56H, Adriana De La Garza. Adriana De La Garza.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Ms. De La Garza. Is there any way you can turn on your camera?
Good morning.
Good morning. Can I have you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Is your true and correct name Adriana De La Garza?
Yes.
Ms. De La Garza, you're here before the court, charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. Did you understand the range of punishment for a Class B misdemeanor as was explained to you this morning?
Yes, sir.
Has any court ever declared you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane?
No, sir.
Ms. Gonzalez, Savannah.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. You're here for Ms. De La Garza.
That's correct.
Do you find her to be mentally competent, able to assist?
Yes, Judge, I do.
Court's going to go ahead and make a finding that Adriana De La Garza is mentally competent. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty for her at this time. Reset her case for April 21st, 2022 at 9:30. Now, in investigating this case, it was determined and pre-screened that Ms. De La Garza was involved in an accident.
Yes, Judge, it was a rear end collision.
Okay. I'm going to place Ms. De La Garza in a breakout room with our probation officer, Ms. Rodriguez, at the end. And that way she can talk about the options available for a mobile device. If you don't already have a mobile device, Ms. De La Garza, you'll have until Wednesday to install that device. And please remember what I spoke about it in terms of no violations, no admonishments, nothing going forward, waiver of fines and court costs. Okay, so that's my way of trying to help you with respect to some of the fees that are associated with having that device. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So hang tight. Don't go anywhere. You can just put yourself on mute, and you can even turn off your camera. And when I'm done with docket, I'll put you in that breakout room with our probation officer. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Ms.
Thank you,
Gonzalez,
Judge.
you
That's all I
have-
have. No, that's what I was gonna say. I don't have anything else. May I be excused?
you're excused. Thank you so much.
Have a good weekend.
You too. Next is CR 22001038, Raul Flores Jr. Raul Flores.
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Flores, good morning. Can I have you raise your right hand?
Yes,
You
sir.
swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Is your true and correct name Raul Flores Jr.?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Flores, you're here before the court, charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. Did you understand the range of punishment for a Class B misdemeanor as was explained to you earlier this morning?
Yes, sir.
Has any court ever declared you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane?
No, sir.
Mr. Munoz, you represent Mr. Raul Flores Jr. Do you find him to be mentally competent?
Mr. Flores is competent, Judge.
Court's going to go ahead and make a finding that Raul Flores Jr. is mentally competent. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty for him at this time. Reset his case for April 21st, 2022 at 9:30. In looking at Mr. Flores' case, it does not need a bond modification, or there will be no bond modification requested. So for that reason, Mr. Flores, unless you have a question or Mr. Munoz has a question, you are both excused.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
Judge.
Thank you. Let's move over to CR 22004003H, Aldo Gonzalez.
Good morning, Your Honor. Cynthia Cantu del Bosque on behalf of Mr. Gonzalez. Your Honor, the information that I have is that he is in La Villa.
In the county?
I
Or
don't know,
like-
Judge. I've,
Or living in the city? I'm assuming in the county?
I don't know, Judge. There was a verification of incarceration, and the court has already signed the capias. That was earlier this week.
Out of an abundance of caution, Mr. Heller, what would say the state with respect to Mr. Gonzalez on this case?
Judge, state's going to defer to the court's decision on this one.
I say that we take out a nice side, because if he's in custody, I'm sure it'll make it easier for Ms. Del Bosque to try to identify him. If she needs a bond, I will entertain a bond once he's brought into our custody. But for now, if he's in federal custody or if he's in another county.
Judge, it appears that it's probably federal custody because he had bonded out on this case already, and then it was a rearrest. That's based on the verification.
Let's call an ISA and then hopefully we'll get him at some point.
All right.
The capias has already been
State
signed.
request judgment ISA be granted, keep it issued in bonds for the state of Texas.
Judgment ISA will be granted. Capias issue bond forfeited to the state for the arrest. Again, Capias has already been issued, but I'll reissue it again and we'll go from there. Ms. Del Bosque, if he comes into the county, then we'll get notification. We'll let you know and we'll try to bring him in. We call our criminal docket every Tuesday and Thursday, so we'll try to bring him in as quickly as possible.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Let's move on to CR 22003449H, Oscar Isaia Matas. Oscar Matas, I see Mr. Matas there. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Can I have you raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Is your true and correct name Oscar Isaia Matas?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Matas, you're here before the court, charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. Did you understand the range of punishment as was explained to you earlier this morning for a Class B misdemeanor?
Yes, sir.
All right, you may lower your hand. Thank you so much. Has any court ever declared you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane?
No, sir.
Counsel, Mr. Fernandez, do you find your client to be mentally competent for arraignment purposes?
Yes, sir, I do.
Court's going to go ahead and make a finding that Oscar Isaia Matas is mentally competent. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty for you at this time. Your case is not a bond modification case, as it has not been identified as such. So unless either Mr. Fernandez or Mr. Matas, either one of you have any questions, I'm going to leave you with a reset date for April 21st, 2022 at 9:30, and both of you all are excused.
Thank you, Judge. Have a
Thank
good
you.
day.
Thank you. Let's move on to CR 22-00333H, Irving Mendez. Is Irving Mendez present?
Good morning, Your Honor. Cynthia Cantu del Bosque standing in for Edna Cedillo with the court permission.
Yes, ma'am. Is Irving Mendez present? Irving Mendez, if you're on mute, please unmute yourself. Irving Mendez. All right, doesn't look like he is present. Ms. Del Bosque, I know that sometimes what we do is if there's been contact between Ms. Cedillo and Mr. Mendez, I can reset the arraignment down the road. If there hasn't been, I typically take an eyesight. I don't know if you have that information.
Your Honor, there has been contact between them. I was asking her about his portable device status, and she did give me information. So obviously there has been some contact between them. I would ask that the court give me a new arraignment date.
All right, March 25th, 2022 at 9:30 in the morning. That
Very
is
well.
the next arraignment. We'll carry this arraignment over to then. A motion for continuance is granted since he is not here today. If he's not here on that day, then a warrant will be issued.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. I'll relay the information.
Perfect, thank you.
Your Honor, that's all the business I have before this honorable court. May I be excused?
You're excused. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Court's gonna call CR 22-00073H, Alexa Salinas.
Good morning, Judge. Jose Solis for Ms. Salinas. Judge, we're present ready for an arraignment this morning.
Great. Ms. Salinas, can I have you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
All right. And just before I start, do you pronounce your middle name Nathalie?
Natalie.
Natalie, okay. And is it spelled correctly, Nathaly?
Yes.
Okay. Your true and correct name, Alexa Natalie Salinas?
Yes.
Ms. Salinas, you're here before the court charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. Did you understand the range of punishment as was explained to you earlier this morning?
Yes, I did.
Has any court ever declared you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane?
No, sir.
Counsel, in speaking with your client, do you find her to be mentally competent, able to assist?
She's competent and able to assist, Judge.
Court's going to go ahead and make a finding that Alexa Natalie Salinas is mentally competent. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty for you at this time. Reset your case for April 21st, 2022 at 9:30. This is not a bond modification case, Mr. Solis. And so for that reason, unless you or Ms. Salinas have any questions, I will let you all, I'll excuse you all until April 21st at 9:30.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Well, have a great weekend. Thank you very much.
You too. Have a good day. Okay, Carlos, we need a translation in CR 22-00538H, Juan Jose Vera. Juan Jose Vera.
Juan Jose Vera, si puede prender su cámara y su micrófono.
All right, good morning, sir. Can I have you raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Juro que testimonio que ver esta mañana va a ser la verdad y solamente la verdad, señor Vera.
Sí.
Yes.
Is your true and correct name Juan Jose Vera?
¿Es su nombre correcto y verdadero Juan José Vera?
Sí.
Yes.
Mr. Vera, you're here before the court charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. I need to advise you that a Class B misdemeanor carries a potential penalty of up to 6 months in the Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine upon conviction. Do you understand the range of punishment you could receive for a Class B misdemeanor?
Señor Vera, usted se encuentra ante la corte porque es acusado de una ofensa de manejando intoxicado que se considera un delito menor clase B, y tengo que avisarle que con esta ofensa lo máximo de castigo que usted puede recibir es hasta 6 meses de cárcel del condado, una multa de $2,000 o las dos cosas ya sido contra culpable. ¿Se entiende lo máximo de castigo que usted puede recibir por esta ofensa?
Sí.
Yes.
Has any court ever declared you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane?
¿Alguna corte alguna vez lo ha declarado mentalmente incompetente o que diga que está loco? Perdón, voz alta. No.
Counsel, in speaking with your client, do you find him to be mentally competent, able to assist?
Mr. Vera is competent.
Court's going to go ahead and make a finding that Juan Jose Vera is mentally competent, able to assist. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty for him at this time and reset his case for April 21st, 2022 at 9:30.
Señor Vera, vamos a poner una declaración de no culpable por su parte este momento y le vamos a dar una nueva audiencia para el 21 de abril a las 9:30 de la mañana.
Okay.
There is no bond modification here, Ms. Villanueva, since it doesn't meet any of the criteria. So unless you have any questions or Mr. Vera has any questions, we'll see you on April 21st at 9:30.
Sí, Judge.
Si no tiene alguna pregunta, señor Vera, nos vemos de nuevo el 21 de abril a las 9:30 de la mañana.
Ok, está bien.
Okay, that's fine.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Gracias para tirar.
Ok.
All right, now I do have 2 cases that are going to be put into a breakout room with Victoria. Let me create those rooms and assign Victoria. All right. Yes.
Sorry, real quick on Mr. Alejandro Bueno Jr. I found his information. However, he has the interlock device on his vehicle.
Okay. So Mr. Bueno, okay, he already accepted the invitation. Just explain to him that he'll have to do that swap order and we'll work on that swap order. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I wanted to confirm. Thank you.
Thank you. They're both waiting for you there. All right, that takes care of our docket. Court's going to go ahead and log off of YouTube.